Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. I'm glad you're here today, and you should be too. And today is a special day because what is on my thing? Today is a special day because what I have here is my first real opal. Yes, my first real opal. So let's take a look at this. I got a little parcel of opal for Christmas, and I pulled this one out because it seemed like it might, I don't know, I haven't cut any before, real opal, so I picked this one out and it's like, yeah, let's see what we can do before I get maybe to some of the other ones that might look a little more promising. But this one looks, I don't know, it looks fairly promising. But you got to start with something, so I'm trying to get close enough focus. Okay, there is some reds, some red color in there. This is a piece of Wello Opal as far as I know. And you can see there's just a little bit of reds in there. There's some slight oranges in this area, which I doubt the camera is picking up. There's a little bit of color, some blues and greens, very light, very lightly in there. And let's put a little water on it, that might help. Okay, that doesn't really help. Now it does a little bit. You can sort of see that there's some color, especially in this area. But we do got this giant, yeah, that giant, super gnarly 90-degree divot in there. But it is sort of flat on the bottom. Actually, it's very flat on the bottom. So how to attack this, I'm not certain. But the only way to find out is to go at it. So we're going to take, you know, this potch or sand off of here and just start working at it and see what happens. Because what else can you do? And what I did, I weighed this out. It's 3.3 carats as it is. So let's see what we got left after we get this thing shaped and polished, and see if we can make a nice gem out of it. So meet me over at the wheel and let's get on it. Okay? Alrighty. We got this here. I may want to zoom in a little bit so we can get a better look, because it's going to be some delicate working. Yeah, that might be better. Okay. Get the water going and the wheel going. And I'm starting out, yeah, there's the water. I'm starting out on the 600 grit wheel, because there's no way I'm going to go whacking away at this on that 80 grit. That's just going to be way too strong for this this type of stone. And I've got to be delicate. All right, so where do we start? Well, start on the edge. Oh yeah, that'll be good. Okay, it may take a little longer, but I'm gonna take my time. We got this sand here. It seems to be coming down pretty far onto that edge, so I'm gonna have to try and get that sand out. Get an edge there. See where that sand goes. Now let me straighten the other edges up a little bit, because why not? If any opal people are out there, opal cutters are out there watching this, and I'm doing something wrong, that's because I never did it before. I'm just going to go around the edge of the stone, sort of smooth that out. Looks like there's a chip or a fracture right there on that, which, yes, I was correct. Nope, I guess that piece is going to go pew. So see if we can get down to some sturdy stone, as I would call it. You can see this thing starting to suck the water in already. Look at that. The whiteness is disappearing in leaps and bounds, but what we still have is this sand. You know what? I'm going to have to take some of that top off, so I'm going to just take a little bit of that and see where... Wow, that sand is really, really deep in there. I know the sand has to come out, so let's take that sand out of there. And I got some really gnarly boogers going on over there, so it looks like the tip of this is going to have to come off just so I can get down to that gnarly bit of sand there. So if I'm not talking a whole lot, it's because I'm concentrating. And you can see that this opal is really sucking that water up. Woo! Really sucking up that water. Actually, I'm going to take some of that bottom off. Oh, I'm going to drop it. Yeah, no harm done, hopefully. But that sand there, it definitely has to come out. Okay, and focus. Looks like we're getting that sand pretty much out of there. I want to try and get all that sand out before I start moving on to actually shaping this piece. And because this bottom is flat, that's going to be the bottom of the stone. I've got a big crack right there, you see. Hopefully maybe I can just take that bottom up a little bit that way and eliminate that and keep the rest of that stone on there. Take some of that little bit of sand, and that black spot has to come out, which it is coming out. Okay, now let's work on this sand a little more. I'm trying to roll that sand out of the edge. I'm not sure if I'm doing this properly or not, but we will find out. Yep, still got sand spots all over the place there. Boy, this stuff turns clear, and I think there's a... Oh no, I thought there was a fracture down through there, but that's actually that 90-degree divot that I was talking about earlier. There's some sand spots there. I'm going to have to try and get out. Ooh, another piece broke off. I don't like that. It looks like there's a fracture. Oh, yep. See that? Fractured off. Round that fracture off a little bit so it's not so much in the way. But here we have those sand spots right around there that's definitely going to have to come out. The stone's really getting clear when it's sucking the water up. Like, yeah, this is definitely Wello Opal. Or I'm pretty sure that's how Wello Opal works anyway. There's a few other pieces, there's some other pieces in there. A few of them looked pretty good. This one didn't look bad, but I figured let's start with this one. I think I got most of that sand out. Got to get this gnarly gnarly bedooger out of there. I figured let's pick one, and this looked like a good one to start with, so I can get a feel of how this works. Okay, focus. Looks like getting the sand pretty much out of there. But this not giant gnarly there I gotta get rid of. There's a sand spot right there. I might be able to roll that off the edge. But that gnarly there, I've got to do something with that, so I'm going to work on that for right now. Okay, let's see. Well, you see, yeah, you can get a good idea how big it is right there. It's definitely a big gnarly. If I can get that big gnarly out, then we'll work on shaping it and seeing what I can get out of this. Got a little bit of sand here, a little bit of sand there, a little bit of sand on the bottom, some chips around that corner, and you still got that gnarly point. I wonder if I can work on flattening that bottom out a little bit. Oh yeah, that's gonna flatten out nice. I just don't want to eat too many of the carrots up, even if it's not super valuable. I don't want to I don't want to be taking away too much of this. Okay, I've nearly got that. Nearly got the gnarly out. And it looks like I'm pretty much got that gnarly out. I may have to start shaping this stone now. And here's that chip out of the bottom. I'm wondering if I should, that's the thicker part of the stone, if I would take that much of the stone away. I think I might do that because it seems fairly thick. Okay, I'm gonna start shaping this, I guess. Anyone screaming at their screen, you know, I apologize. Somebody's out there going, no, don't do that yet. Oh my God, what are you doing? It's because I've never cut opal before. And they go, oh my gosh, he's destroying carrots. It's like, yes, I am, because I'm learning. Boy, with this thing being that clear, it's kind of hard to see. Holy smokes. Yeah, it's very hard to hold, too. Okay, I think what I'm going to do now is, here's the remnants of that divot. It's right there. And there's sand up here, sand spots I can get out, but there is somewhat of an edge around here. And most of that gnarly on the bottom there, I think I can No, it's over here. There's one right there, but this one, I think I can take that out. Let me take a little bit more out there. Yeah, I know carrots are just flying out the window. And the stone's flying on the floor. Yeah, I think I can work with this from there. Doesn't seem like there's much color, if any, in there. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this over there and I'm going to put it on a stick. And then I'll have better control of what I need to do. So, don't go away. I'll be right back. Okay, focus. Got it on a stick. Yeah, it seems to have dried out a little bit. Let's take a closer look. And we can see the sand spots that I got to get out. And I got to get some shape to it. And doesn't look like there's any color left in there. But we shall find out. Alright, maybe I'll zoom in a little bit more. See if that will work. Oh, I got stuff flying everywhere. Okay. There we go. Get some focus going. Alright, maybe I'll start shaping this thing. I hope it doesn't just look like that giant white speck that it looks like. You can see it's sucking the water up already. I said this is the first opal I've cut. Real opal. I've cut common opal before, but no real opal. Let's make sure we're still focused. And yeah, the water's starting to soak into it already. I'm trying to get some sort of pleasing shape to it without taking too much of the opal itself away. I've got some high spots here. Now I got to get that sand out. So let's start taking that sand out. Focus. Yep, got sand spots all over the place. Oh, bugger. Okay, let's try this again. Let's try to focus again. There we go. Alrighty. Let's see if we can throw this off the stick too. I didn't want to super glue it on there because I didn't want it to... I wanted to be able to take it off a little bit easier, but it looks like it's going to need super glued on. At least for now. I think I'm just going to try and get this shape down a little bit more pleasingly than I had it before I start on the top. Man, you can really see how that's sucking the water up. I think I'm just going to stop being so nervous about this and just do this the way I would do a normal stone. Not that this isn't a normal stone, but it's just, it's a piece of opal, man. Shape it like I normally would shape it. Okay, let me look at there. We're a little wonky wonky on this side. Looks like we're getting the sand and crap out of it, though. Crazy how this stuff changes color when it gets wet. You know what? I think I'm going to go straight into the swirlies. Straight into the swirlies and work that dome down with the swirly technique. At this point, I'm not even concerned too much about saving carrots. Okay, we've still got that fingers. My fingernail can actually snip into it. You can see that nick right there. We are starting to get a little bit better shape to it, though. And hopefully it'll stay on the stick. I shall just soak this in acetone to get it all. Well, maybe not. I'm not sure what acetone will do if it soaks into the stone. I think I know why that fell off. This water is pretty cold. It is freezing outside. It's getting down, supposed to get down to 12 degrees, and it's going there pretty darn fast. And even though I have a heater out here, it's getting cold. So that water is setting on the floor in a bucket, so it's picking up room temperature pretty quick, and room temperature is going down with leaps and bounds. I think the nick is out of focus. There. Let's see, is the nick out? I think the nick is gone. Okay, so let's work on maybe getting a nicer roundish shape to it. Let's see. Okay, that's looking better. And I think I'm going to have to go to the swirly now. And I can swirly that into a nice shape. It's a shame that it doesn't seem to be showing any color. Every now and then I get a flash of red. But it could be all in my head too. Okay, that's not looking too terrible bad. I think I'm going to give it a swirly all around and then head to the 600 grit wheel. Yeah, this is 300 grit wheel. What was I saying? Okay, I think... yeah, it's not too bad. I know we got that gnarly right there in the bottom. But I think that'll be above the setting edge, or below the setting edge. So, of course, I'll hit it one more time. And then we'll take Captain Clear and his All Clear Orchestra over here to the next wheel. So, hang on to your eyeballs. Okay. Eyeballs are all wonkied. Get some focus going here. And I'm going to just swirly that right up the whole side of it. From the side to the top. Because that's what we do here. Alrighty, I think that's probably about as good as I'm going to get it on this wheel. Looks like there might be some super slight faceting in there, but I think it'll come out with the other wheels if there is. So now we're going to move over to the next one. 1200 grit. 1200 grit and then on to the cerium oxide. Okay. Like I said 100 times already, this is the first opal I've ever cut. And, you know, I'm not sure what I'm doing other than cutting it. Cutting it like I would any other stone, except being more fussy about it in a way. stone this size, it's not going to take long at all on this wheel. So I doubt if I'll just edit any of this out, in case you want to be able to make fun of me more. So I'm going to take this and hit it with the cerium oxide, and then we'll take a look at it at the table. So don't go away. Okay. Okay, no go, no go, no go. Okay, done with the cerium oxide. And the stone is still super, super clear. So let's take a magnified look at it and see what we got. And it looks bloody horrible like that. But it does look nice and shiny. I mean, there's no doubt about that. That might be a little bit better. Definitely nice and shiny. The nick's gone. And the next thing to do, I guess we can get it off stick. I think I could probably pop it off with this. Hopefully, without destroying oh my god. Well, if anybody was cringing when I did that, good reason for it. Look at that. I know I shouldn't have done it. I shouldn't have did it. I should have just soaked it in the acetone like I knew I should have done. Okay. So, let's see if I can fix this. Okay. I'm back again. And I think I have fixed it. All I can say is that was stupidity in its purest form right there. Okay. So we have a much smaller stone now. And I'm definitely going to put this in some acetone now. Alrighty, so I shall be back after I have put this in some clean acetone and taken it off the stick and finished off the bottom. So don't go away. I may do something stupid again. Alrighty, I'm back. Now let's get this out of here. And here is what I have. I really have to zoom in on it. And we've got ourselves a tiny little, very white looking opal. And I can't not tell if the camera's picking it up or not, but you can see there is some red still. If you look at it sort of at an angle, there's a slight bit of red looking at it from the top. But these edges seem to have some red around it. As I'm looking down at the camera, I do not see it. It's mostly around the edges. I think there you can get a glint of it. And there's some red in there. Could have been the way I cut it too. I don't know. But there it is. And it is quite smaller than it would have been if I wouldn't have been an idiot. So, might as well still weigh it out. Since I got the thingy here to weigh it. So, let's get on here and we'll calibrate this. And it says pass. Yay. So, here we go. What do we got? We've got 0.75 carat. Well, it could have been worse. So we've got 0.75 carats of opal with hardly any flash to it. But it's still an opal. There is just a little bit of shade of red still in there. It's like I said, I can see it here. You know, I did the bottom of this thing. It's sad, you can see a little bit better from the bottom than you can from the top. From the side, you get a little bit of that flash. flash of red, but it's still out of focus, and it's still an opal. So regardless of how many bad things I had happen while I did this, this opal is a win. So if you liked the video, hit the button down there, subscribe, and if you'd like to see me mess up some more opals, I have a few more others I'm going to cut, and hopefully I'll do a lot better on it than I did this time. Okay, so thanks for spending some time with me, and have a good evening.